Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister and this is my Major Arcana series. Super excited to share this with you because by the end of this video, you're gonna know a whole heck of a lot. We're gonna go into the secret symbolism, the numerology, the astrological association, as well as the upright meaning and the reversed meaning. All right guys, so what's happening here? All right, so my setup is I have three different versions of the cards. In the middle, we have the Rider-Waite OG version that was published by Rider-Waite publishers in 1909, and the artwork is done by Pamela Coleman Smith, but tarot is actually way older than that. As far as we know, it started in the 1400s as a card game, and then eventually it became a divination tool. So this is the one that people are most familiar with. Then on the right, we have the Light Seers deck. I recommend this for beginners. This is the deck that I use. I feel like the cards are really easy to relate to. They're amazing. I love this deck so much. And then on the right, on the left, we have the Way Home Tarot version of the Strength card. And I put this up because I learned tarot from the book that Bakara Whitner wrote, and this is her deck, and it's called WTF Tarot. So I have links to these decks in the description box below, and the books as well if you're interested in that. Okay, so moving into the numerology is super important to understand that everything in the card has meaning and can tell you about what it means. And so the Strength card is represented by the number 8. We have the number 8, and 8, it's the infinity symbol, and it's also called a lemniscate. I told you guys back in The Magician that I would look up how to say a lemniscate, but lemniscate. Okay, so you can pronounce it two different ways. It's lemniscate or lemniscate. And that's just like an infinity symbol. If you remember that, the symbol 8, right? The figure of 8. And that represents abundance, material prosperity, worldly power and influence, and as well as infinity and eternal life. Okay, so in the secret symbolism, start with Rider-Waite because it has the most symbolism, right? So the lemniscate, or the infinity symbol above the head, like we said, represents eternal life, and it's above her head, and it includes also like the physical, mental, and the spiritual aspects of life when we're talking about eternal life. So I love this card. She is in control of this lion. And so she's either opening or closing its mouth, can't really tell. And she represents spiritual courage. And the lion represents passions and the lower nature of man. Now her awareness is of consciousness and of eternity above. So she doesn't have any fear, no obstacles, no resistance, and her robe symbolizes purity. And she also has a chain of roses here, and that represents the union of desires, right? With the purity as well. And so it creates, she is like representative of creating strength, and she tames and she represents taming the wildly unconscious forces that bow before it. Super cool. All right, so on the right, we have the Light Seers deck variation, also really beautiful and awesome. So we have like the lemniscate, the infinity symbol above her head on her arm, like a tattoo. And she's blended her carnal nature within her, right? She is the lion. She's blended with the lion and has learned how to control this lioness within herself. And to me, like her eyes represent consciousness and awareness, right, of her lower animal nature. And these two are blended together within her. And she has this white shirt here and of purity, and then the red heart of desire here. And then she's made peace with this lamb. She's not going to eat this lamb, or she's made peace with the fact that she's going to eat the lamb either way. And then we have a constellation in the card, and that constellation in the sky is of the zodiac sign of Leo. And then on the left here, we have the Way Home Tarot variation of here, and it still has like this infinity symbol, the lemniscate, within the snake. And so the snake also is like similar. It's a nod to the Ouroboros symbol that we had seen back in the Magician card when I did that video. And so the Ouroboros is a serpent devouring its tail. This serpent is not devouring its tail, but it kind of like gives like a similar energy to it. And the snake represents like life force, energy, the kundalini, and desire. We have the pink roses of desire. And interestingly enough, we have these white hip bones, right? So it's like purity in the hip bones, like peace, in an area of a body, right? Purity and peace between an area of the body that can be carnal in nature. So it's like a mastery of desire, right? And again, we want to pay special attention to the colors in the cards, and really notice, right? When we talk about purity, purity is represented by white, and white also represents wholeness and protection. And red, we mentioned red, that represents desire, passion, vitality, and courage. Also a little bit too with the pink. I think the pink is like representing that desire here as well. And then we also have like the creativity, the yellow representing creativity, optimism, and enthusiasm, and the green, the healing, growth, fertility, and prosperity, like among the symbols of the colors in here. Right? And then we also have the light blue, which represents purity, serenity, mental clarity, and compassion. And then with pink, that's like representative of love, friendship, like self-esteem, and joy. So having these things. And then black here, we have white and black in this play here with polarity in the Way Home Tarot. And that represents power, the unconscious, and banishing. In relationship to purity. Okay, and we have the astrological correspondence, and that represents the zodiac sign of Leo. If you're a Leo, you love a Leo, give a shout out in the comments below. Got to give you guys some love and attention. I love my Leos. All right. And obviously this one's pretty easy to see because we have the actual lion here, the strength 8, and there's actually the constellation of Leo in this card over here. All right, and the nickname for this card is I show him my crazy. I'm okay with my crazy wild animal side, right? And so you'll understand that nickname if you go, and if you've watched already the easiest way to learn the major arcana video that I did. If you did not watch that video, you need to watch it to understand the major arcana cards. I'm going to link it here, and I'm going to put it down in the description because it's important to understand that the major arcana is a story. It's a progression of a story. And so in that video, I describe the major arcana in a story. And so it's important to understand the major arcana in that way. It talks about the life's journey, the spirit's journey, throughout the life and all the major, big, important things that happen, the major life changes, getting married, getting divorced, moving in together, having a baby, buying a house, getting a job, like spiritual breakthroughs, psychological breakthroughs, all of those things, versus the minor arcana represents like all of the day-to-day things that we experience. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, so the upright meaning of strength is complete self-acceptance. You are viewing your reality and lived experiences as highly spiritual. You're having the maturity and the awareness to handle a situation you would have struggled with in the past. So for example, it could be something along the lines of having an emotional conversation with your partner and being completely okay with crying when you wouldn't before, right? Having someone beep at you in traffic and feel your anger and be able to let it go. Watching your kid have a tantrum and being okay with it and then staying calm until they calm down. Ooh, tough ones. But it's things along those lines. It's things like you've learned through your experience to completely accept what's happening and to be okay with what's happening. And that can, relate to like many, many, many different situations, but feeling this real inner strength that comes from your soul and your connection with your higher self merged into your body. All right, and then reversals, right? If the card's upside down, it means reversal. And so in reversals, some people use them, some people don't. It's up to you. But if you're going to use them, it's important to know that it means that the energy is being blocked or avoided. The energy is there, but you're not letting it come through, or the person you're reading for is not letting it come through because you don't want it, you're scared of it, you're not ready for it. Something is holding you back. Maybe that's good. Maybe it's your intuition holding you back. But if it's reversed, possible meanings could be letting your inner animal take over, or denying or repressing your desires, or being self-critical, even though you should be supportive of yourself. And some examples, it's like giving into self-destructive patterns or habits, like overeating or drinking too much, or like not telling your lover what you like in bed. Things along those lines of where it's like self-denying in a way when you know that your wisdom is telling you to accept yourself and the situation for the way it is. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video about the Strength card. This is just a reminder that I'm going to be putting more videos out in this series, so if you want to make sure to be notified on them, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. The next video is going to be the Hermit. Also, if you're watching this like way into the future after I finish this series, don't worry. On the end screen, I've linked the Major Arcana playlist as well as associated like other videos for the Major Arcana. All right, love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.